closest to, right? And that's exactly why she's where she is. Because as we say, this business is all about relationship. And ask her how to connect it. It can be connected in a balcony, which happened between me and her. It can be connected over a cup of tea. She can connect over a phone, anywhere, right? Relationship happens like a cake to her, right? And in her eyes and in her words, which you'll be right now seeing, okay, there's so much of care flooding, okay? But today, the session that she's going to take, the way she's going to explain you something which most of the people fear, numbers, this, that, she's ease way that you'll be very clear why you have to be a millionaire ASAP before 2020 gets over, right? Because she's also a knowledge bank. Well, she's the one who reminds at every freaking time, beta knowledge, beta knowledge, beta knowledge. And she just doesn't say it. She first does it by herself and then tells, okay, I've done it. Now you better find it out. She's somebody who makes it happen to us and not just loads it. Right. And that's the same thing you're going to see in the next 2 hours. That she will make it happen in your life. The switch on will happen in your life. It is not just a session. Okay. So I know if I am given a more time, now I can keep talking, right? But I know that right now the session, the thing that she's going to tell right now is going to be very, very, very important for all of you. So again, I'm repeating, do not take your eyes off. Do not put your ears off at all. I'm telling you, otherwise, what you are going to miss, no? What you are going to miss, no? Only you know. Or maybe you'll not know, and your other people will know, and they'll make the money and they'll show you what you missed this Tuesday, which will never happen ever in your life. Okay? So right now, let me call upon this lady who smile, like she can give a tear with just her smile, with her eyes. Let me call her my sister, none other than Shrishti Barua.
Okay, thank you so much, Archie. That was like really heartwarming. Every single time I listen to anybody, speaking, I mean, it really makes me very much emotional. Nevertheless, I hope you guys are all doing great. And as always, okay, before I begin speaking to you, right, I would really love to have this chance and an opportunity to thank all our uplines, okay, who have worked relentlessly, okay, all these weeks of our GS, and they have been every single day, they have been in service to us, helping us, okay, all the team members, all the translators. So thank you very much, guys. All the translators, you guys are amazing. And again, heartfelt gratitude to all our uplines for making this grooming school a possibility and a reality, because I have been able to attend so many sessions of so many different people, our uplines, and being able to learn from them, okay, I think has helped me so much. And I am sure that for you guys also it has been the same. You are also attending GS every single day just like me, and you are learning a lot of things, okay, just like me. So now, as Archie was saying, that today we are going to talk about a lot of different things, including a lot of numbers. Okay. And I personally feel very, very excited, and I feel very, very happy whenever I am talking about these numbers, because for me, as a businesswoman, right, the numbers, the money, right, the calculations, the concepts, everything is a proper mix, right? And this mixture is what helps me run my business and carry forward my business every single day. Okay, as my upline always has been telling me, that it is all a game of big numbers, right? And today, whatever I'm going to share with you guys, okay, the first time I heard about it, okay, and I was taken through this concept, it literally blew my mind. Because when I started, I thought I started for a specific amount. You all know $1 million. And then, when I actually saw this concept and I could see how much money we can actually make in this business and what exactly, okay, is the bigger picture. So now, before we move on, let me just all right. Okay. So now, as you can, I'll be using a lot of the screen today. So I would want you to pay attention, right? So now, when we all started this business, okay, there is one concept that all of you guys had seen, correct? Correct? Right? So 97 percenters are here and 3 percenters are here, correct? And what is the major difference, okay, between the people on the 97 percentile side and the 3 percenters? Okay, definitely mindset, right? So today, okay, we are going to talk about the difference of the money mindset that these 97 percenters have and these 3 percenters have. How exactly do these 3 percenters think about money? How do they operate? Okay, and if we want to make more and more money in our life, if we want to be financially successful and attain that financial freedom, we need to start walking, okay, from this quadrants, okay, towards the 3 percenters, right? So to begin with, okay, when we talk about different kinds of methods of making money. Now many a times it happens that when you start the business, okay, you are in the zone that I didn't think that this is the only work I have to do, or you have a very complicated version of a business in your head, correct? Now, having said that, it should be understood that we belong to this category, correct? Correct. So by the by, our thought process about a business, okay, or about how to make money gets very much affected, okay, by the society or the educational systems that we all have been exposed to, okay. And the most important differences, if I would say, right, that we can come across in different methods of making money. All right, so when you start the business, and as I already mentioned, that you feel that, okay, this is not so much of hard work, or I have seen my people, my uncles or my father doing a business, but we are not doing this business like a conventional business. Well, that's exactly the point. We are a new age business. We are technically so advanced that we do not really need to set up a store and sit there and hire the employees and sell one on one. And that's exactly what makes us, okay, one of the leading in the industry. And that's exactly what is going to ensure that you and me, with our experiences in life, not necessarily in a business, right? Many of us are not even from a business background, but the simplicity that e-commerce has got in, okay, and we have combined it with our direct selling industry, already makes our business more powerful. And to help you guys understand this concept, okay, right, I would really want to talk about the basic understanding of what we have of a high paying job, okay, and our business. So let us first understand, okay, as per you, okay, few of you, not all of you, okay. So when we start a job, right, guys, so what exactly do you think, okay, would be a dream salary? Okay, I cannot hear you guys, but I'm sure you guys must be talking about, let's say, $100,000 in a year, approximately. Okay, so what would be, a dream or a very good, I hope that my handwriting is viable and you guys are able to read it. Okay, so let's say that 100,000 USD, okay, per annum, okay, is a good salary as per you. Okay, right? And it would be in INR around, like, 70 to 75 lakhs. Okay, right, close to 100,000. And for you, for one, in fact, to reach this level, okay, what do you think would be the tenure? Minimum, like, 13 to 16 years. Am I right? Some maybe 15 to 20 years, right? And then, what is the educational qualification? So generally, for a person to reach that level, okay, bare minimum, people do a job, sorry, do a degree that is like, like an MBA, or he or she will obviously do more than one degree, let me tell you that. Okay, or a lot of certifications and so on and so forth. So let's say that this guy, okay, who's at this level today, has done his okay, one second. All right, so has, done his BTech or his engineering, okay, right, or BE, plus an MBA, right or not? Or maybe, any degree, maybe BBA and MBA, right? Many of the top notch people who are in the this salary bracket of the corporate are generally not just, one graduation done. Okay, so they are mostly combining more than one degree. And what do you think is the requirement, bare minimum? How much do you think this guy will be spending as fees? Bare minimum, okay, bare minimum 60K, okay, to a 100K USD as fees, right? So now when this happens, okay, right, we are taking, if you see here, the time taken or the qualifications or the fees itself, okay, many people go for loans and they do the degree, and then mostly, for a very long time they start keep repaying this, and already, okay, these many years of your life is gone. But if we compare to our business, all right, if I talk about this, 1 million US dollar net profit per year, correct? What is the gestation, right? You all must have seen the financials, right? And then what is the fees? Hardly 10 to 14,000 USD startup capital, right? Seed cost jisko bolte hain, right? It is not an investment, guys. Investment is when you put in money and then the money works without you working on it. But this is a business, right? So if you look at this scenario, right, and if given this option, leave whether this business is going to work not work, leave all your thought processes outside, and just if you look at these numbers, can you tell me one thing very clearly? All right, which one do you really think, okay, that out of these two scenarios one should choose? Even your kid would be saying that we should go in for. And as far as education qualification, I think one of the most education qualification, sorry, one of the most what to say, interesting facts about our industry is that it does not discriminate anyone based on, whether you are from this country or that country. What is your educational qualification? Do you have a degree? Are you a girl? Are you a boy? Okay, are you a single person? Are you married? Do you have kids? Doesn't matter. The only person that is required in our business, okay, is you. And I think that is a very, very, very important part. of why, my business makes so much of sense. And if you see, here, when you are in the job, all right, what is it that you get? You really think that at 100,000 salary, okay, you are going to live a very stressful life? Of course not. There's going to be a lot of stress, a lot of tension, okay. And there might be situations wherein you are not even able to spend much time, even if, let's say, it's your daughter's birthday today, all right, and you have already made these arrangements, you're making this kind of money, and you're already very successful, and all of a sudden you get a call from your boss and your boss says that there is a board meeting or there's an important meeting, you need to be there. Do you really think you can tell your boss that no, I cannot come to office today because it's my daughter's birthday? Because you're making so much of money, okay. That's the reason why, okay, you have to be there on your duty. But if we talk about our business, all right, 4 to 5 years, what else do we guys get? We get people who are there with us at all times, okay, to help us, right? So this is the best thing that can ever happen to us, right? Wherein you start a business, okay, and then you get full support system the moment you start the business. So I really feel, okay, that if given an option, right, then I think that this is one of the uh, best deals ever. And then we talk about traditional businesses, right? There are so many of us who come from a traditional background, traditional business background, correct? Like, for instance, even for my father, right? Everybody in my father's family were all into business, and everybody on my mother's side, okay, are all into government services, correct? Now, just because since my childhood, okay, I have seen people doing traditional businesses in and around doesn't make me a business owner. I became a businesswoman. I became a business owner when I started this business. Okay. So if there is any one of you who thinks that my family business is there and I have done traditional business, believe you me, please empty your cup. Okay. And look at the options around. Okay, we need to understand that there is a very big difference. Like I just told you guys about a lucrative job, salary versus ours, and what and all happens in that job. Now let me tell you about a traditional business, okay, and compare it with our business. Okay, now the numbers may vary, guys, so I'm just going to give you guys an example. So let's say that we have our net profit, okay, so a net profit of 1 million, right, USD per year, correct? So for a $1 million profit, bare minimum, how much do you think would be required as a seed capital or as a startup cost? I would say that, no less than, actually, if we talk about traditional businesses, okay, not utilizing too much of, the current advancements, I would say, okay, a lot of money invested in the advertisements and to traditional methods, okay, I would say 10 million would not go anywhere. But let's say that we are utilizing, this traditional businessman is also utilizing certain advancements or tools that is available today. So let's say bare minimum of the seed cost would be bare minimum of around 5 to, right? Now, what would be the gestation? What would be the gestation period? Bare minimum 10 to 15 years for you to start a traditional business and start hitting that particular profit margin. Now, again, if we compare, okay, if we compare it with our business, right? What is the seed cost? Hardly 10 to 14,000 US dollars. And what is the gestation period? 4 to 5 years. So, and also, a traditional business, you need to understand that is actually still, person centric. And our business, we are creating something as a system centric business. So, if you guys remember your ESBI, correct? So, this was one difference between 97 percenters and 3 percenters. Am I right? Right? So, this person centric and system centric. Now, we need to understand this, guys, very clearly. Let's say we are putting in $5 million, okay, into a business. And now you guys have seen how the corona pandemic has literally taken over the world, and it is not in anybody's control. The finances are going haywire, and a lot of my friends, okay, who are traditional businessmen, correct, have actually, and even in few of my family members, right, so they are actually literally, what to say, they are aghast. Basically, they are very much worried, because the physical, the confinement or the lockdown has literally affected their business to levels wherein there are so many of the traditional business brands that are also closing down, right? So, having a traditional business necessarily does not ensure that you have created something, okay, that is going to give you $1 million every year, come what may. But if you talk about our business, okay, I'm sure that when you started, right, your senior partner, your upline, okay, or your friend who, recommended you into this business, correct, he or she must have told you that we guys all work together like a team, and our goal is also to create a system. A system is something, a business, okay, wherein you work hard for a few years, you make a mechanism, right, and then what happens, whether you are there or you are not there, the system works. But if you have a traditional business wherein, let's say, okay, for a second that you arranged that 5-10 million dollars, okay, and you started, correct, and you are okay with a gestation of 10 to 15 years to start making that profit, not turnover, okay, guys, profit, correct. God forbid, if something happens, will your business run, right? How many $1 million businesses do you know? How many businesses in your vicinity do you know who have a potential of making this kind of money, right? And if I really compare, I really honestly feel there is no comparison of our business to a traditional business or to a job. Because you know what, guys, there is, everywhere else it's a very, it's a thick competition. As we say, it's all a part of the rat race. But the best part of our business is that we work together as a team. As I already told you, the moment you start, you get a support system, right? In opposed to the other traditional business or in a job, because in a job, when you are there, for you to reach that level, how many CEOs does your company have? Okay, how many CFOs does your company have? So out of so many employees, just one wins that particular position. But our business is so amazing, that it is always taught to hold each other's hand, okay, and grow together. And that's exactly what creates the base for a system centric business. So when I started, okay, many years back, and I understood this difference, okay, between a traditional business, right, and if I continue doing a job, I was also placed in an MNC after my engineering. Okay. And I realized that if I continue doing my job, and if I start a traditional business like my family business, okay, I'm not going to be able to create a system centric business first. Second, as I said, I will not be able to make so much of money with a limited amount of seed capital that I had when I started the business, right? So, which means what? You and me right now are in the best possible place the universe can ever put us in. Okay. So, I really, every single day, am grateful that I got a chance to start my business. And I would say the same to you. Okay. And I'm talking out of experience, right? So that's the reason why, okay, even if you are spending that money, you need to, as I told you in the beginning, you need to start focusing. Are you thinking as a 97 percenter, or you are thinking like a 3 percenter? Because you know what, guys, I will again draw the ESBI for you. Okay. So we have the 97 percenters here, we have the 3 percenters here, right? And I told you guys that there is a big difference. Now, let us understand, okay, once we understood that what exactly is a mindset difference between a traditional business if we start, what happens if a job we start, and I also gave you a comparison with our business. And you go and ask your 5-year-old kid also and show him these numbers and ask beta which one, or child, which one should I choose? Even your kid will say, Papa, our business is the best, right? So when we talk about that, and I also told you about the 3 percenters money mindset, okay, there are two terms which you really need to understand as a business owner now, okay? And those terms are known as asset and liability. Okay, guys, right? Asset mindset and liability mindset. Okay, so first let us understand what exactly is an asset. An asset is something, okay, that adds value to your pocket, which means what? Anything that adds money to your pocket is an asset to you. Anything that deducts money from your pocket is a liability to you, which means that the net direction of money has to be inward for some commodity or something to be called as an asset. But you know what, guys? Fortunately, unfortunately, right? Our entire thought process is no opposite as far as asset liability is concerned. Many a times, like I am from India, and in India, many a times it happens that our family members tell us to buy a house, okay, as per our traditions, or as per our society. Buying a house is an asset, right? But you know what? For the rich, okay, it is actually not an asset. I'll tell you how. What did I tell you? Asset is addition of money, liability, subtraction of money. Now, when you buy a house, okay, let us first talk about a loan scenario. You take a home loan and you buy a house. Now, for you, taking a loan for a house seems like an asset, but you are actually going to stay in that house. There is wear and tear that's going to happen, maintenance cost, so on and so forth. You're going to pay the EMI. So every single month the money is going from your pocket with no possibility of the money coming back to your pocket ever, right? And even if you're buying a house cash down, it is still a liability. Why? Because of the same reason. If you're living in it, okay, you need to pay the maintenance, right, the wear and tear, so on and so forth. So if you buy a house and you're living in it as it is never an asset, it is a liability, right? Similarly, even in our society, okay, I'm sure it must be almost same even in your country, right? That when you buy a house also, our parents think that, okay, it's an asset, sorry, a car. But you know what? Again, when you're driving the car, the maintenance, the petrol or the diesel, the fuel, right? Everything is deducting money from your pocket. Now, if you have a fleet of 10 cars which are running like taxi for you, okay, or you are utilizing your car, you're buying the car and you're putting it on rent, or you're putting it for some kind of money making, right? Maybe as taxis, correct, or you give it on rent for special occasions, then it will be an asset. Yeah. So first things we need to understand as business owners, now we have to stop thinking like the 97 percenters. Every 3%er understands the difference between an asset and a liability. Now, tell me one thing, you guys have started a business, correct? Right? That's why you all are here. Now, when you start the business, okay, which quadrant do you think our company belongs to? Our company is in E quadrant, S quadrant, B quadrant, or I quadrant? Okay, I can't hear you, but I would assume few of your answers. Okay. Now, those of you who are telling me that, a company is in the B quadrant, but the thing is, you know what? The company is not in a quadrant. It is you and me. As it is rightly said, many of you must have heard about this, that the business is not on trial actually. The business has been there for many, 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 many years. Okay, right? It has already, our company has already crossed all the boundaries. It is you and me who have started along the journey, right? So it is us who has to identify ourselves in one of these quadrants. So just by starting a business, you don't become or you don't fall under a B or an I quadrant. You need to work hard towards that simple transition, okay, of moving from this side of the quadrant to this side of the quadrant. And if you guys remember, you're welcome. It is very rightly said as the journey of change, right? So if it's always the people who are in these quadrants. Now, if I talk about, let's say, Reliance, okay, Reliance is not in the quadrant. Mr. Ambani is in the 3%ers, this quadrant, right? It cannot be that the company is in this quadrant. I hope I'm making sense. So companies, don't fall under any quadrant. When you start the business, okay, it is your job or my job, when I start the business, to work on my mindset, okay, and to work to make the money so that I can make that gradual shift from the ES quadrant 97 percenters to the 3%ers. I hope I'm making sense to you guys. Okay, right? So now, um, having said that, people here, okay, really, start sometimes, okay, with this fear. People think that people who are in this category, right, they are fear driven. Okay, people in this category are growth driven. Correct. Now, when I talk about fear, okay, it is also about a recovery system. Okay, guys. Now, what is a recovery? What is a recovery mindset? Okay, so let me close this for some time for you guys. Just give me a second, guys. All right. So, what exactly, right, is a recovery mindset? Just give me 1 second, guys. All right. So now, when we talk about the ESBI, correct, and we talk about the 97 percenters, okay, many times it happens that if I don't know if all of you, but maybe if you have started with this thought process with the fear that I don't know if whether this business is going to work for me, or I am not sure if I will be able to recover. That's why I told you it's a recovery mindset. Correct. So there is a fear driven. And if you start a business with fear, do you really think you will be focusing on learning? Or you will always be driven, okay, by that fear of maybe, let me try attitude. Do you understand what's a let me try attitude? Let me try attitude is, I have put in a couple of bucks, so let me see if this works. Now you need to understand one very simple logic. People who are successful do not start businesses to just try something. People who are successful start a business with a vision and a goal. So I'm sure, when you came in for your presentation, your business meeting, okay, you must have seen a lot of calculations, and whoever your senior partner met you, he must have asked you about your dream, your goal. So it is very, very crucial that if you want to shift from the 97 percenters to the 3 percenters, it is very important for you, okay, to understand that you are here to make a lot of money, and for that you need to get into the growth mindset, and you cannot be in the you know fear mindset. Okay, guys. So if you have ever got this thought that I'm here to first let me recover my money, okay, and then maybe I will start, then I'm sorry to tell you, my friend, it is going to take you a very, very, very long time, okay, to start making that money. So which means what? You need to shift your zone, okay, and you need to get into this learning zone now. Okay, so let me again quickly share my screen. Okay, right. Okay, guys, so we were talking about the fear mindset and the growth mindset. Now we need to understand one thing. Let me keep it here. Okay, so if we talk about our business also, the best way to start this business, all right, is on 21 UVs or TCs, correct? So let's say that you start with let's say 10,000 to as a seed capital, as a startup cost, correct? Right? And you know let's say you take a loan. Now I'll tell you a very, very interesting fact. Okay, rich people, 3 percenters, they start business maximum of the times on loans. Okay, they take up the money from the market, put it in a business, right? Correct. Why? Firstly, as I told you, they don't start a business with a recovery mindset, they start a business with a growth mindset. Okay, and many of you must be sitting there in your chairs and who have taken loans, and you must be thinking that, oh my god, my loan in my business is like a liability. Let me help you break that mindset today. Okay, guys, so let me keep it here. Okay, so you feel that your loan is a liability. Now let me help you understand that how exactly that is not true. So let's say you started the business with this much. Now what do you think is the general EMI for monthly? I mean, it might be differing from country to country, but let's say around 200 to 300 USD per month, right? So now if you have seen your financials, okay, when you start with this amount of money, right, let's say you start with 21 UBs, okay, right, you are already going to make 3 steps. I'm going to explain it to you a little later, but you know what, you're already going to make, when you start the business, okay, you are you will be making bare minimum, okay, at least 2 to 3 months of the EMI that is going to be there. So you are going to make 3 steps any which ways, okay, right? Which of around $200 each. So approximately $700 you're already making. Now, when that happens, is that your 2 to 3 months EMI is already taken care of from your business. True or not? So when you started this, and let's say for the first 2 to 3 months, your EMI of the business of your business loan is already taken care of the business. So far, how much money do you think you have put in? Actually, nothing so far. Okay, and then let's say that you take 3 more months to get in gear and start making that money. Okay, so even if you have taken a $10,000 as a loan, if you really, really work properly, okay, you will, after the first this EMI, you will also be starting to doing the business, right? So definitely you will start making the money. And if you really focus on the process properly, okay, you can actually make that money even 6 to 8 months to a year maximum. Okay, so let's say that you first 3 months EMI you already recovered, and then in the next 6 months, okay, you are putting in only some amount of money in the form of an EMI, and you're already starting to make money from the business. So you took a business loan, correct? But for what? For your business. But the business is adding money to your pocket. So if we talk about that asset and liability definition, okay, where do you think your business loan will fall under? Which category do you think? Really? Liability? Or is it going to be an asset? I hope you guys are getting my point, right? So even if people think that, okay, if I've started, if let's say you have started with a lesser stake, my dear friend, okay, and you have not taken up a loan or maybe have not done a top up, saving 2 to 3 lakhs ideally is the same amount of money you are going to put, okay, even in paying the EMI, because after that you're already going to anyways make the money back. You're going to earn that money in the business. So is it not more logical, okay, to start off with a better stake in the business and have that mindset of growth? Because your business loan or the loan with which you have started this business is actually already being taken care of. But if you want to sit like that hen who just sits on her eggs day in and day out, correct, right? Businesses don't work like that. So you cannot sit in your place and you can heat your chair, okay, and then you expect that your business will one day, there is this saying, sone ka anda, like will give you golden eggs by you just sitting at a place. In real life, businesses don't work like that. So which means if you've started, you're obviously going to work, right? And if you work it in a proper way, you are going to make that money. So isn't it more logical that this entire thing gets converted into an asset? And when it gets converted into an asset, okay, you are actually not losing out any money. You know what, in India, okay, if we talk about a Tata car, so-called mentality that a car so-called is an asset, okay, it is also like approximately, if in INR, okay, right, 6 to 7 lakh rupees, right? So even in your country, okay, whatever is the amount that is required to buy a car, right, people go and take loans, right? And then they feel so happy driving in a car, but the moment you go out of the showroom, your car has already turned into a liability. So if you're so okay to go ahead and take a loan for your wedding or your house or your car, you know what? Go ahead, get a top up, okay, and increase the stakes in your business. Because you know what, guys, the next thing that I'm going to talk to you guys, okay, about the calculations and the amount of money, that will only make sense, right, if you understand how important is the mindset of an asset for you to become successful as a business owner. So I hope you guys understood so far. I spoke to you guys about your traditional business versus our business, then a high paying job, right, at a very high designation versus our business. And I also told you guys how exactly it is important for us to have a system centric vision rather than building something that is only going to be a person centric business. Now the next step that I'm going to talk to you guys about, okay, so in general all of you have seen your 3 UVs left, giving you $200 as a bronze. Okay. Now you need to understand one thing, okay, guys, that when you start, okay, as a distributor and then you become bronze star, by now you must have already heard about a lot of different ranks. Okay. We have our silver, then you have the gold, correct? Silver, I don't even count that, but You have your gold star, then you have your sapphire, right? And then platinum, diamond, blue diamond. Correct? Now you need to understand one thing. Again, a 3%er starts with a growth mindset, not the fear mindset. Okay, so you need to open up your head and your brains towards all the possibilities of becoming super successful in the business. Now let's say that, for 3 UVs left and 3 UVs right on, and you are making $200. Now why I am so excited, okay, and I've always seen my uplines being super excited, is because as and when you advance in your ranks, your 3 UV left and 3 UV right payout changes and it increases. Okay, and now for the same, okay, if you are a, okay, you start your 3 UV left and 3 UV right, okay, changes to $250, right? And you know what, guys? The more and more number of checks you start making, okay, this $50 difference that you see in turn starts becoming a huge amount of money. Because remember, guys, we are in a weekly business. We get paid per week. I think it's a fantastic thing. Okay, every single week you can see, your money coming into your account. Okay, right? And I'm sure you all have got your virtual office, so when you log in you can always see how much money you are making, right? So having said that, it is very to the power infinity important for you to advance on your gold star rank immediately if you've just recently started. Okay, guys, right? And you can go to your uplines, you can ask them how exactly you can achieve this, and it is as easy as achieving it in the first 2 weeks also in the business, or maybe maximum a month. Okay, but you, again, growth mindset, you started this business to make money. So don't wait and sit in fear or in greed or in, this recovery thought process that let me first recover the money and then I will start the business. Never works out like that, guys. Okay, we have to start off, okay, with our 100% faith in the business, right? So this is a bare minimum benchmark that you should be hitting, as soon as you start the business. All right, so you can sit down with your uplines, okay, make an agenda, make a strategy, ask your upline, how can I reach this level ASAP? All right, so once we understand this, okay, the best way, as I told you before, to start this business is 21 UVs. Okay, or rather than, there is one more concept I would like to introduce here for those of you who are new. It is known as a TC, which is actually a tracking center. I hope my handwriting is readable, guys. Okay, so now what is a TC? Now a tracking center, okay, is a shop, I might say. Okay, it is like you've bought, this shop, right? And when I say 21 tracking centers means that you have 21 shops. Now don't you think it is always better to have more number of shops than just one? Now what happens in the shop, like in general, when you go to a shop, when you own a shop, okay, you are making the money, correct, out of that shop. So you in this business are also going to make the money, all right, on your tracking center. Okay, so now when you start the business, all right, with 21 tracking centers, okay, all right, so 21 TCs, all right. Now, okay, so let's say that Archie starts the business. This is Archie. Now all of you have seen your financial model. Okay, now also I would like to add, interestingly, every single organization will have a structure. Okay, it is known as the organizational structure. It is a pictorial representation of a company or of a business model, correct? So now you have started a business. So your organization, your business starts with you. Okay. And hence, everything below you will be always shown or depicted in a pictorial way. Okay. And that is exactly how it looks on the paper. And that's exactly the diagram that I'm going to make for you right now. Okay. The placements may differ, but every single, whether it's a school, a college, a government, a corporate, everywhere. But you know, the best part about this pictorial representation in this diagram is that you own it. You are the owner of this shop and you can make the money, right? Because when you're a part of somebody's shop, you're working in someone's shop, you are not the owner, you just get your salary, correct? But when you own the shop, it's your money. That's the reason why the tracking centers are so important. Okay. So now when we start, if you look into virtual office, when you log in, okay, please take your upline's help, they'll help you if you have still not seen and logged in into your virtual office. Now in your virtual office, when you log in, you can see, okay, in your financials also, your senior partner must have told you, okay, and must have shared this diagram with you. Now, okay, so when by default, when we start the business, 3 of our shops, okay, are already placed, okay. If I talk about how it's named, it is named as 001, 002, and 003. Okay, so let's say now Archie starts the business. Her first 3 tracking centers are here, right? And approximately 18 TCs, all right, will be in a place called as a TC bank. All right, guys, I hope I'm clear. So first 3 tracking centers will be placed here, here, and here, correct? And the rest of the 18 will be placed in the TC bank. Okay, and how can you place it? I'll come to that. Now, when you start the business, all right, so you all have seen the structure. So currently I'm going to leave this block. I'll come back to it. Okay, but let us start off from here. Now this particular, every block here is known as a TC. Okay, guys. So now let's say, okay, that you started the business. You're very, very excited. Okay, right, and you recommend 2 of your friends. All right, who are very, very, as excited as you are, okay, to do something of their own, and they go through the process and they start the business with you. Okay, so let me say that Mr. B here, right, and Mr. C here, correct? Now guys, in this, okay, there is one more very important concept you guys need to understand. All right, and that is basically, one second, let me, all right. So, and that concept, okay, right, is a credit and a cash out. Okay, guys. So, if this is you, okay, one side is always a stronger side, guys, okay, right? So, those of you who are new, all right, you don't need to think too much about it. Just understand that one of your sides, one of your legs in your organization, okay, is always going to be the stronger side. Okay, and when it is the stronger side, okay, we call that side as the credit. Okay, all right, and the shorter side, okay, is known as the cash out. Also, okay, you can identify your cash out, those of you who are new, right? How? Whenever you have a sign up on that particular leg, you will make a check. So I hope you all remember the 3 UVs and 3 UVs left and 3 UVs right concept, correct? So a credit is a longer leg or the stronger leg, and the cash out is the leg where when you have a sign up, you will make a check. So credit will always have an accumulation of UVs. You will have always more UVs on your credit. Okay, right? Is it fixed? No, it is not fixed. Okay, but eventually after some time in the business, ideally one side becomes always stronger, right? But eventually, even if it shifts a little bit, you don't have to worry about it. Okay, right? So you need to understand there is a credit side and then there is a cash out side. Okay, so now if we just a second, yeah, so now if we guys can see here, Okay. Yeah. So let us assume, okay, that for Archie, okay, this side is her credit side, okay, and this is her cash out side, okay, right? Okay, so in the beginning, let's say this has around 1000 UVs, this has 500, okay, right? So when we see these two, correct, so approximately 166 steps would be made, okay guys, if we see here, right? So only like 2 UVs for 498 UVs, 3 UVs left, 3 UVs right? So they will be making a check, and out of this 500, 2 UVs are left, okay, right? Just to make the concept example I'm giving you of 5500 BVs. Okay, so just for a clearer and a cleaner this thing, I will just erase this. So this was just an example. Okay, so let's say your credit side has this many UVs and your cash out has that many. Now when Mr. C signs up here, okay, right? So what you do, you are going to place your tracking centers which were here. Okay guys, so please listen to this part very carefully. All right. Now, when Mr. B and C sign up, okay, or start the business, okay, they go through the process, right? And what you do is, okay, that you are going to place your tracking centers here. Okay, so 3 is already here, Archie 3. So Archie 4, Archie 5. Oh, so sorry. I wrote. All right. So A4 and A5. Okay, right? And then, she has her friend, okay, let's say Chandan, all right? So Mr. Chandan signs up here, okay, and Archie places A6 and A7 here, okay, right? So now Archie tells Chandan that, you know what, I know you are going to rock this business, and as my confidence in you, okay, I'm going to place my 2 TCs. Now, when these 2 TCs are placed here, okay, it ideally doesn't affect any business for Chandan here. Okay, guys. So Archie placed her tracking centers number 6 and number 7 here. Okay, now when this happens, all right, now let's say that Archie is showing plans, is super excited, okay, and Chandan is also working very very hard, okay, and let us right now for the ease of calculation assume that the right sides, okay, are the cash out sides. Okay, so for Chandan also this would be the cash out, this would be the credit. Of course for Archie also this is the cash out, this is the credit. So now, as a faith, as I said, confidence, Archie placed her tracking center here, and whoever is the common friend, okay, let's say Nawaz, okay, right? So Nawaz is a common friend for Archie here and Chandan, okay, right? And what we do is Archie decides to place Nawaz on the cash out of Chandan. Okay, guys, right? So, what will she do? She will place Nawaz here. All right. So, the moment, okay, Archie places Nawaz here on the cash out leg of Chandan, all right, and on the A7 cash out, correct? Again, I'm saying the right hand sides are the cash outs, assuming for calculation, okay? So, Gold star, Archie is now a gold star, so she will make $250 here, correct? And she will make $250 here. So when Chandan signed up also here, right, Archie had made $250 on this tracking center. Okay, guys. Now when Mr. N, Nawaz signs up, okay, starts the business, all right, Archie makes a $250 here, and she makes a $250 here on 001. I hope I am clear. with you guys? Okay. Now again, all right, this N, you're working, N is also working very, very hard. Okay. So as again, a mode of confidence, a vote of confidence. Okay. So Archie places Archie 8 and Archie 9 here. Okay. Right. And tells Nawaz that Nawaz, we are going to work together properly. Okay. And I'm very, very confident you're going to do the business very well, and I'm placing my tracking center below you, right? And when this happens, again, let's say there is a common friend, okay, right? And I hope you guys are clear. All right. So now below this, let's say we have Manu signed up, okay, right? So now when Manu signs up here, okay, right, below my R9 tracking center, okay, right? So I'm going to make a step. Archie is going to basically make a $250 here. Let us assume 3 UVs, okay, guys? Ideally, we don't do a 3 UV sign up, but let's say for ease of calculation, okay? So let me remove that. All right. So now at A9, we made a check. Then for the same 3 UVs, you made at A7, correct? And then the same 3 UVs you made here also. Correct or not? Correct. So now, so for this, when M signs up, okay, all right. So I'm just going to write on this side, guys, don't get confused. So when M signs up, all right, so $250, correct, on A9 here, $250, okay, on A7, correct, and $250 here, correct, right? So this is for your understanding. So I'll again remove this. Okay. So now when M starts the business, all right, correct, and let's say that again, the same thing, 9, so A10, A11, okay, right? So again, let's say that we have this person signing up here. So let's say Rajat signs up here, okay, right? Again, Archie is going to make money on, this is 11, guys, okay, on A11. So 250 here, correct? So when this guy signs up again, 250 here, correct? Then 250 here on A7, right? Then 250 here, correct? So basically, and we are going to have the same thing here as well on this side. I'm not going to draw it so that it doesn't become more confusing for you guys, but we are going to replicate the same similar system here. Okay, let's say, okay, let me show you with one. Okay, so let's say that this is the cash out, this is the credit leg for Archie, correct? So now let's say somebody signs up here, and for A4 also it will have 2 legs, correct? So even if let's say X signs up here with the 3 UVs, and this is Archie's credit, you remember this is the credit side. So even if you are having, okay, X sign up here on the credit side, okay, of Archie, she will still make a check on A4. Isn't it amazing, guys? So even if you're having, if you place your tracking centers properly, even if you're having a sign up on your credit, like X signed up on Archie's credit, she is still going to make a check. So even if you are having a sign up on your credit, and if you have placed, okay, your tracking centers right, okay, then you make money even on the credit. So if you can see here with one sign up, right? So let me take it here now, okay, and I'll write it for your for a clean view, okay. So for one sign up, one 3UV sign up, okay, right, you made 4 times the steps, which means that instead of making $250, now you are making $1,000. Just imagine, right? And let's say that this guy here is an intelligent chap, okay, right? And this guy started with 21 UVs. So automatically this will be, so it will be 7,000 US dollars plus referral margin, guys. Correct? So this guy starts with this. Obviously, he gets this fantastic business, right? He gets, his virtual office, and he also gets his products or the service. Correct or not, guys? So with the same amount, okay, if you max out on goals, you must have seen this calculations if you're very very new. 180 UVs left, 180 UVs. Okay, right? Correct? There is something called as max out. Okay, and when you're maxing out on gold, okay, right, you are already getting paid uh 4 times. Why? Because your TCs are placed properly, and as I said, you are going, your TCs are placed properly, and with only 4 tracking centers placed so far, you have made 4 times the money, which means that, imagine, if you have not started with a bigger stake, what are you losing? With the same sign up amount, you are making 4 times the money. So doesn't matter, it is still not late, guys. If you have already started, okay, and you have not started at a 21 UVs, okay, or at a higher stake, please go for a top up loan, increase your stakes, ensure that you talk to appliance. Now one more very important point, guys, please don't go and start putting your tracking centers here and there after this session. You need to check with your working upline, and he or she will guide you as to how to basically place your tracking centers strategically. Am I right? Okay, guys. So this pattern, okay, this entire calculation pattern, okay, making more money, right, is basically known as, we call it as zigzag. Zig and zag, right? You can see it like that. And imagine, okay, so basically for your max out 180 UVs by 180 UVs into 4 times means what? Divided by 4, okay, is, even with 45 UVs left and right on multiple tracking centers, you can make your max out amount. And just imagine, with, if you start maxing out on the tracking centers, how much money you are going to generate. That's the reason why at the beginning I told you guys that it is about the magnitude of this business. It is not just $1 million per year and we are done. The more number of shops you have, more is the amount of money, okay, that you are going to land up making. So it's 4 times less turnover and still you're making that money. So just imagine what will happen when you will go full throttle and you will focus on max out. Guys, you started this business, you need to max out. It has to be always in your head. When I started the business, all right, and I really arranged whatever money I could arrange, right? And I was only 3 months into my job. And then after starting the business, in the next 3 months, I quit my job forever. Okay, right? And I am so thankful for this business to have helped me achieve so many things in my life. Okay, all my dreams, correct? And that's the reason why when I understood, okay, that this concept tracking centers, you can never have enough. Okay, so even if you have been in the business, all right, I know few of you who are listening to me, okay, you are in the business for quite some time, okay, but if, just imagine, okay, if you're tracking centers, if you have more tracking centers and they are placed well, how much money you can make. So go ahead, increase your stakes, go get a top up loan, go sell something, doesn't matter. What matters is, are you having a businessman mindset? Are you having a growth mindset or you having a fear mindset? Right? And if you've started this business to make so much of money, might as well go full on, full throttle. Because you know what, guys, 4 or 5 lakhs doesn't make much of a difference in anybody's life. Tell me one thing that you can buy for 5 lakhs which is going to change your life like drastically and help you grow more and more and more. Is there anything like that you really think? Correct. But here, with that little bit of difference, okay, right, of your starting the business, the number of UVs you start this business with, okay, do not hesitate to go all out and increase your stakes. Because you know what? When you go out and increase your stakes in the business, okay, if you are there since quite some time, right, or if you're new also, okay, go ahead, increase your stakes, okay, build in your faith in the business more, okay, because this extra sum amount, couple of lakhs, couple of, US dollars, okay, is going to change your life. So investing couple of US dollars and buying a Tata car is better, or putting in that US dollar in your own business so that you can make multiples of it is more, sensible? You only tell me. Because believe you me, after a point of time in your life, you are going to go and buy that car, any car, right? Now, which car are you going to buy? Are you going to buy that 5 lakh, or in INR, okay, couple of $1,000, okay, right, car, or you want that dream German car of yours? And this business can help you do that, provided you are focusing, okay, on implementing this concept of zigzag. All right. And for further help, of course, your uplines are always there. Now, what if I ask myself, okay, after these many years and what I have seen, I've always seen my upline super excited. I already told you, right? And I always used to wonder that what is their goal and what do they want to achieve. And I've always been following my uplines, right? And I understood eventually, what do I want to do? I want to max out on 5 TCs on diamond, right, guys? So you should also have a vision of maxing out on multiple tracking centers and guys on diamond, right? So if you're maxing out on diamond, and let's say, okay, it takes you 10 years, all right, it takes you how many years? 10 years, all right, to max out on 5 TCs on diamond. Okay, now if you max out in 2030, okay, right, so 1 TC max out is oh, I hope it's clear. All right, okay, right, so into 5 TC will be how much? Correct or not? 1 second, guys, this is a little unclear. All right, okay, and into 52 weeks in a year, correct? So dollars, good or bad? I'm talking about 5 TC max out, right? Now let's say that in these 10 years, what do you think? Your car, your house, and all of these goals will not be fulfilled or what? Of course it will be fulfilled, na? Correct? But I'm talking about big money here. Okay. So let's say in 2030 is 10 years. So 20, 31, 32, and so on. Okay. So let's say this is our income, or I would say not even income, I would say, okay, earning, correct? Your expenses and then your savings. Okay. Now you're making 5 million a year. How much do you think you're going to spend? So you're making 5, okay, $1 million, max to max, best of lifestyle, $1 million. So you're already saving how much? Okay, right. I hope you guys are able to understand my handwriting though. Okay, So just understand the concept first, guys, okay? The same year, correct? And then so on for the next 5 years. So that means in the next 5 years, it would be 5 into 4 million USD as saving. 20. And if I talk about, okay, let's say, we always talk about 30 years of job, and from this many 30-35 years of an entire job life. So if I consider 30 years together, right, 10 years you've already worked. So if I divide it into, okay, so if I divide it into 5 years, 5 years, 5 years, 5 years, okay, I'm having a saving of 20 million, 20 million, 20 million, 20 million, correct? Right? And of course, the first 20 you already have it here, correct? So the first 10 years plus 10, 10. So in the next 30 years, you can reach 100 million USD. Now, I hope you understood this, right? To reach this level, correct? After that, the next 5-year plan here, then again 5 years. So 10 years. So I'm talking about a 30 years, in 30 years making this much of money. Tell me anybody in your vicinity who is making this kind of money, or is in the process. What, so many, I've seen my applies, are applying, correct? They are already in that path, guys. They're already there, right? So when I'm already having somebody with a net, value, all right, evaluation value of this much, and I'm following his footsteps, I will also be there. Before this business, I have never met anybody making this kind of, having this kind of a net value, okay? And then that person is willing to teach me to be here. I have never met somebody. I don't know about you. I'm sure you also must have never seen. True or not? Correct? So, which means what? That this is a win-win situation, guys. Correct? And how many, people, this entire business is so huge. So, if you remember, okay, I'll come back. Okay. If you come back and you see here, you remember I left these positions here. Now understand what is the benefit of the first few. All right, I will, the same diagram, guys, this entire thing I'm going to draw again clean. Don't get confused, okay? So this is the same diagram, I'm just again drawing it for your ease, okay? So these are the first initial 3 tracking centers, and then I left these blocks here, and then I started giving you the example. I'm again going to show you guys so that you don't get confused. Okay, so I am just drawing this particular segment, and I'm just taking it and I'm just drawing it clean. Okay, now imagine, okay, on these your own shop possibility, okay, if you're maxing out on one tracking center also, right, on a diamond, like you're making that kind of money. So now imagine, aren't these boxes also called tracking centers? Well, they are. Okay, so these boxes are also called as tracking centers. And you know what, every company, if you remember, I told you that when you start the business, okay, you kind of now have an organization. So if this is you, your business starts with you, right? So your organization begins with you, right? So when your organization is beginning with you, and you think, when let's say Mr. Ambani started Reliance, don't you think he must have given the maximum of the stakes or the values or the you know you know what to say, authority to his near and dear ones? And thank God to our business, okay, right? I call this as the board of director positions of my organization. Okay. Imagine if every tracking center is worth, that much money. All right. Every tracking center, the first few tracking centers, because your entire business, okay, right? Your entire business, all right, is going to be apart or is going to be below these tracking centers or not. Whether it is 2 4 doesn't really matter, but it would be all below that tracking center. That is how the model is, which means that these positions are the most important and critical positions of my business, my organization. And just imagine if we are talking about $100 million. Okay, guys, we are talking about $100 million. Do you think you are going to give these positions to some strangers? You really think so? Do you think it is advisable? Do you think it is important positions, okay, to a stranger? If you ask me, when I understood this concept, okay, the first thing I did, okay, was I signed up my closest people. Now, since it is closest, we call them as hot zones. Now, hot zones means what? I'm sure you must have heard this term in your welcome. People who are super close to us, okay, people who, we will want these people to be as successful as we are. We would want these people to make as much money as we make. Okay, we will want these people to always, be the, maximum benefit of our hard work, all right, to be shared by these people, and these people are known as our hot zones, right? And as I said, as my upline Digibhai always says, right, that hot zones are people jinke bina mera chalta nahi hai, right? And if I translate it, hot zones are people without whom I just can't exist. So imagine I have started $1 million business and I can create a net worth of 100, right, million over the next 30 years. And I don't want to give this position to my hot zones. That would be actually, something, a very casual thought process. But as I said, if I have started this business, all right, with a growth mindset, right, I will be focused on making that money. So even as I said, even in a job, you're going to work for 30 years and then land up making, you also know, correct? Hardly 2 to 3 CR, or maybe, in your entire life, $1 million. Now I'm talking about 100 million, guys. So these positions I understood are the most important of my organization. Okay. And they are known, as I said, are the hot zones. So when I started the business, the first thing I did, okay, was go ahead, all right, and ensure that I close these positions. Okay, guys. And who were my hot zones? Definitely, first things first, okay. I myself, I am actually a hot zone, right? At that point of time, when I started the business, right, my husband, my upline, right, at that time my fiance, so he started the business, and immediately, when he realized the importance, I am so lucky I got, started in this business as a hot zone. So all of you guys, a big shout out to all of you guys who are hot zones, okay, right? Somebody thought that, you are so integral in their life that they gave you that position. Okay. So when I realized this importance, what I did, I immediately signed up, all right, my family, everybody, Okay, my aunt, my mother, right? That time, we signed up my father-in-law, correct? And then, when my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law came of age, okay, we have to be 21 and above, right? So we signed them up, right? My mother-in-law, correct, my cousins, everyone who's close to me. So after, if I ask you today, who will you give these important positions to? Can you think of some names? Okay, leave everything else. If these are the positions, all right, which are the board of director for your organization, can you think of the names that you would want the benefit to go to, right? And so I got, my family, right? And at that point of time, when my upline, right, he taught me about the difference of asset and liability. I went all out because, see, I understand, I also had just started, correct? And I ensured, that I close my hot zone positions, all right? And I arrange funds, and I was super excited. Okay. And thank God, everyone you meet in the business who have been in this journey for quite a number of years will tell you in writing. Today, you may not understand 100% of what I'm trying to tell you, but even if you can get 1% of my intent, okay, please close your hot zones. The most important step, if you would want to become successful in this business, okay, you will have to go by my intent. And I've already told you guys so many of the calculations. If you want that benefit to fall in the family, obviously, please close your hot zones. And when I did that, okay, I also remember one of our closest friends, you must have met him in one of the GS sessions before, those of you who are old, right? So we signed up Ravi's best friend, correct, and a brother to me, Manu, right? And when we called him up and we told him that we want you to be a part of our business, and I told you a hot zone is somebody without whom you can't live and who actually ideally can't live without you. So you guys are like this tally, right? And when he started the business, today when I look back, guys, I think the best decision we had ever taken was to close our hot zones, because today when I look at that guy, him driving his German car, and I love him so much. And thank God that time my upline told me you have to close your hot zones, and we closed Manu at that point of time. And the best decision ever, because today we travel the world together, right? Flying from business classes, first class, driving German cars, buying homes, right? Maxing out everything we do together. So if you've got that kind of a best friend in your life, you have always thought about we will do this. I still remember me, Manu, and Ravi, when we were in college, all right? So we used to have these visions that, okay, once we guys get out of college and we start making money, right, our cars will go like this. Okay, first we will have a German, we'll have a BMW, and then we will have a Mercedes in between, and then we will have this car, at the back. So three cars, three of us, three cars back to back, and we will travel like that, and we will travel the world since college. And we had no idea about this business at that point of time, but we always had plans. So I am sure you will also be having those people with whom you have created those memories. It always makes me feel so emotional when I talk about this. Okay, right? I'm sure you must have had those kind of moments with your friends. All of us have that. Okay. Or, since I'm the only daughter, but, Ravi always tells me he's got his siblings, right? So I met them when they were quite grown up, but he talks to me about his childhood, and how even with his siblings he used to make these plans that we will do this for our family, we will buy the biggest house for amma, daddy, I mean our parents. So even with you and your siblings, you must have had those conversations wherein you guys have planned that we are going to give the grand world to our family, we are going to give the best of everything. So hot zones, guys, are the people with whom you live your life. and you have started $1 million project bare minimum, you've seen the potential, okay, then the most important step for you right now, if you have not closed your hot zones, okay, talk to your upline, right, take their help, and please close your hot zones, okay, because again I'm reiterating it, there is not enough number of times I can thank my uplines, okay. I remember how Rahul bhai taught me about the importance of the hot zones, and how he encouraged me and he pushed me, right, and how I signed up my mother, right, my aunt. And you know what, guys, when I open my virtual office, and the moment I click, all right, there is something called as a genealogy, right? Visual genealogy. Okay. You will soon know about it if you're very new. So, the moment I click to see my organization, and the first few names I see are my own family members, my energy, my happiness, my inspiration goes up 10,000 folds, guys. So when you are going to sign up your hot zone, and you are going to open your organization, your virtual office, and you see their names, it's like a blessing. So my mother is at that hot position, my aunt, my father-in-law, right? My brother, Manu, correct? Right? And all of us together, when we guys, we look at our virtual offices and the money that comes in. So together, if you have not closed your hot zone yet, you are missing out an opportunity, okay, of buying, so many things. And the most important thing is, I would say that, Manu always tells me that, you sign me as a hot zone, right? And I always tell Ravi that I got signed up as a hot zone, is that we can spend time together. Believe you me, guys, all of us, right, during this lockdown, okay, we have actually, obviously it's a very serious situation health wise, and we have to take precautions. But if we talk about business wise, okay, this entire scenario has always, made us more thankful that we are in the business together. Today when we are making money, we don't have to worry about our best friend going broke and going out of job. Why? Because we signed up our best friend so many years back, and he is successful in the business with us. So when you sign your hot zones up and they work, you hold their hand, and you hold their hand, and you hold your upline's hand, right? So it's a win-win situation, guys. So if you have started this business, and if I can reiterate, okay, guys, and if I can tell you guys that, that asset and that liability, okay, right, where that fear is there, and then there is growth in the 3%ers. And growth, my dear friends, okay, is, so beautiful when you have your closest people with you on this journey. Okay, guys. And as I said, it is a game of numbers. So if you have started this business, go full throttle. Okay, right? You may not understand 100% of whatever I'm trying to tell you right now. But even if you've got the intent, guys, believe you me, go out there, increase your stakes. Okay, if you haven't already, go out there, sign up your hot zones. Okay, think of all those people you would want to be in this beautiful journey of this business. This business has given me opportunities to create a life for my family, which maybe I would have never even, be able to do physically in the short span of 4 5 years that this business empowered me to do. And you know what, when I look back all these years today, and I look at my people, or when I look at my hot zones standing right there looking at me, I feel it in my heart that it was the best decision of my business career to sign up my hot zones. So, if you really, really, really are here to build this business, you are here to make that $1 million. You are here to change your life. Let us do it like how the 3%ers do it. Let us not, succumb. Let us not go under pressure and again go back to the 97 percenters. Let us take a decision today, right? That if we have started this business, we are going to rock it. And when we have that faith that we are going to rock it, go ahead, increase your stakes, sign up your hot zones, build the business with a lot of love and a lot of integrity. And I am sure the next time when we are meeting, okay, I can feel your excitement that you have closed your hot zones. You have increased your stakes. You can see yourself as the 5TC Diamond Max out. Okay, guys? So I hope that I could, give you guys a bigger picture. All right. Again, as I would say, I would reiterate for you, correct? We spoke about the differences of a traditional business and our business, correct? We spoke about a difference of, a high profile, high pay job, which would take us, so many years, so much of investment, and then our business with a gestation of only 4 or 5 years, all right, to start making that kind of big money, right? And then we spoke about the asset and the liability mindset. Always remember asset, inward money, liability minus money. Correct? So we need to start focusing on what is an asset for us and not a liability. And finally, guys, I shared with you guys the zigzag model of why it is